but I think it's like it's been like 3 sessions, 1 had combat, and
Yeah.
so 8 should be right.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Let me see if there's. I actually wonder if there's anything I can get for that. Probably not. Yeah, I can store those up. I was thinking about making the temple like using the rules for like bases and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's
Kind
actually
of.
a good idea.
Yeah, I think it would be kind of cool. No, I was just saying to Rod, I was thinking about turning the temple into kind of like a base.
Cool.
With
And
the rules for that.
and so you both have 8 points.
Wow.
What you should have for the 3 sessions. Yeah, it's hard to remember to do that. But
So what?
if you were going to throw in to both throw into a base, you could look at that now if you wanted.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Noah, do you think? I don't know if it's like.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. Um, I am failing to find the part of the book where that exists.
It's called. Yeah, I'm failing. I think it's in This Is the World, or oh, you've got. Yeah, so this is chapter Cool Digs and Hot Wheels, chapter page 167. Here it is.
Sweet.
Oh, cool. Okay, nice, great, 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 great. Okay, so
5 point surcharge for making it basically just be a base, so you can always like you have it.
mhm.
And then public identity is actually a very easy situation to give it, so
That's what I
Yeah,
was thinking right away.
you might get 10 extra points right off the bat for that.
I
oh
mean,
wow, I didn't
especially
know
with
about
like
this.
the recovery, from the tsunami.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has got to be like big news for a lot of people.
Okay, so I'm just writing it down. Naga Temple. So public ID gives it 10 points. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't know about this. The base is good of situation. That's cool. Didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's only these 2, but the public ID and the unlock. If you want to
That's
take the
cool.
unlock, go right ahead.
It's kind of tempting considering all the bad shit that's happened. Well,
Yeah.
but it's like I already have enough fucking unlock.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. And does it need any? Let's see what it needs. Well, it's mainly like my kind of idea of what it would be about would be a place where people would be safe and kind of
Right. So you can have it like it sort of already exists as a structure that people can be inside of. But
right.
just as a base, it would provide like, well, if you look on page, 169, sort of it can provide like space to live and,
Yes.
And probably like
different.
Right.
we probably want medical, and then maybe, I mean, recreation if it's becoming kind of a public shared space for the community.
Okay, yeah, medical. That makes sense.
There's
Kind of
information
interesting.
security, physical protection, which I would interpret as, like hazards that counteract, people trying to break in or trying to attack the base.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we have like okay, so we have 10 points from public ID. So medical, we also obviously need living quarters.
And then of course there you can give it powers, which is a pretty. I'm not sure if like as we know it now, it's more just a building and doesn't like
Yeah.
fade from view or like get
I I
directed
was
or anything like that. But
I was thinking instant change could be like if there's some mystical Naga thing that it transforms into, just the appearance could be cool.
Yeah, that could be cool to happen eventually.
Yeah.
Um So, and we're supposed to have security, physical protection. I don't know if that's even
Yeah.
okay. So I have medical, living quarters, security, physical. Not information. Definitely not information.
And how much is
Okay.
that total?
That's 15 points. So I'm just spending one of my 5 of my 8.
Well, let me throw 2 toward it at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because well, we get 10 points from the public identity, so
Right.
that's already
That's a good start.
okay. And then yeah, and then
The
right, and then common or so there's the living
yeah, well,
quarters for everyone who contributed, and
the
then
public space is probably the
yeah.
appropriate one. Just to
Okay, cool. Okay, so then yeah, Noah, you should yeah. So then spend 5. I'll spend 5, and then okay. So we have medical, living quarters,
Oh,
security,
nice.
public space.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. For the Naga temple.
Well, and so, and I mean this is pretty impactful situationally. Like I think Jumbo floated the idea first, but the Gabos have moved in. Jumbo's kind of doing this from a religious angle, but now that they don't have to pay rent, they can focus on this community work. So
right.
they've moved out of that and kind of told their landlord to stick it. And uh, yeah, now they're like kind of free to wake up and go and uh, help the Rambles recover, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah. I need to check in on that. Right. I didn't think about that a lot for this session, but we could sort of check in a little now. Last time there was an interaction. You had an interaction with some of the families last time where they were sort of like you helped them out and they were sort of appreciative, but still not quite ready to move in with the goblin. But
Yes.
you've now moved into the temple, right? So that's been a little bit since that tsunami, and I'm just trying to think if we need any kind of staging. Well, I'll leave that to. Let's see what do we need to check in on? Okay, checklist of what we remember from the last time. So you were you sort of like saved some people from the tsunami in the temple. Some of them got grabbed by the Sahuagin, and Papa was in particular not interested in saving someone who had insulted him earlier. Um, the bird people attacked. I think I gave these people a name. Well, did I give a name to the? Well, it's kind of like a multi-species bird coalition.
Let me
Um,
see if you wrote it down. Yeah, I don't. No, I don't see.
I'll I'll call them the Neriku, Niriku, uh, name of bird people in general in the dimension that they're from. And after that, though, you were Jimbo and the other goblins were approached by a kinku who said she was interested in them, and but she is not. She's from she's from here. She said. I don't think she was very. Do you remember? What do you remember her telling you in that conversation? Uh,
She's
discreetly inquiring for information, I think, is what uh, when I was describing it.
yeah, so I had her name written down as Tiri,
Yeah,
Tiri.
me too.
Yeah,
Me
correct.
too.
Okay, cool. Um she had told Jumbo to come find her at the Waterfront Tavern and had kind of implied that she might have resources to put toward research because she has some kind of interest in dimensional travel.
Right. That's right. Okay. So there's that, and then also uh we saw Yoshimati seemingly in denial. And we'll see how these characters go. Both of your TNPCs came off a little more comical than maybe I intended for them originally, but Yoshimati is sort of in denial about the Naga temple being taken over by the actual Naga the last time we saw her. And Shala's father, Bloody Ababa, throwing in with the uh, trying to throw in with the administration's the regime's Umkalo propaganda and sort of win people away from the Naga temple, but he was cowed by the Naga and sort of ran off, and a little anticlimactic. Well, he's not a god,
Yeah.
if he expected to compete with that. Uh, but so, do either of you have any like, oh, and then in the first session, or maybe in the second session, we had seen a palace official named Yoji Mako offer, ask Shala to help him get information. So that has pretty much, you haven't heard anything back from that guy.
Right.
Pretty irrelevant as the situation developed. He probably no longer needs secret specialized information now that there's a giant snake goddess just saying I'm taking over. Um, so that's that. But well, he's still around. But do either of you have anything that you're planning to do proactively or that you take an interest in?
So I think that um, the Naga is interested in, you know, getting rid of these bird people.
Yeah.
Because the last time they struck, they kind of, they almost killed her, and
Yeah.
they know where the temple is and stuff. So this is not good.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, I think the Naga's probably focusing on some kind of detective work is happening.
Okay.
Related to these things.
And remind me how you conceptualize your detective work.
Yeah, so it's like a mystical. It's like kind of like tarot, like a mystical kind of like
Right.
um game or whatever with like rolling things and some kind of like maybe some kind of like vaguely technological like board that she kind of does the stuff on. So it's something mystical and like
So there's always
fate oriented.
Ouija board or like a I Ching quality to the results she gets, kind of. But
Yeah,
go ahead
exactly. Yeah.
and make a detective work roll.
Okay, so this is my intelligence. I only have an 11 intelligence, so I succeed. Wow, I get a 8.
Okay. Okay. So I think like the board, like the pieces of the board indicate, like enemy is wounded, but they are near. And combining that with your sort of like understanding of how that their technology works, which is kind of based on your technology, like you sort of infer from like this process that you think the egg of Garuda is their ship is just probably just hanging out in the astral plane under repairs, but co-located with someplace pretty nearby.
Okay.
And um I just thought of this, but it's so obvious. Like the nearest, like the nearest like dimensional thin point is like in the caldera of the volcano.
Okay, yeah.
I knew I needed to do something with that.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so I think um the Naga, yeah, this is like the Naga's. I think the Naga is doing this like in this other, like the Naga doesn't have to be present in this, in the human reality to do this. So I think this is happening while Shala is kind of going about her scheming and like trying to figure out how to sabotage this stuff.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, well that's interesting too, because if the we'll go ahead and keep talking, but like I
yeah,
was
I that's what I was picturing at least. If that's weird, then
no, that's fine, but that raises
okay.
like the question or like what's the situation around because now like people are maybe people at the temple are starting to want to like the worshipers like want to see the Naga again.
Yeah.
What is like I think maybe Yoshimati, comes to Shala and says, I've been consulting like the mystic archives and like my own like mystic resource, she's got her own like little mystical board game that's kind of like a human no tech no tech imitation of the
Yeah,
Naga.
yeah.
And uh, she says, you know, I feel sure that we have been like the people have been deceived by an evil spirit, and that we've got to tell them that that's not really the Naga. The Naga are so advanced and mysterious that they're beyond human perception. Like you wouldn't really be able to see a Naga even if it was there.
You're right. Okay, yeah. So Shala's like,
Like digging in deep with this absurd characterization of this woman, but
yeah,
uh,
Shala says, you you must be right. You must be right. A true Naga. Have you ever heard of someone being possessed?
um, I yes, there are many famous tales of demons and ghosts that seek human hosts to do their business undetected or finish unfinished business that they had in the world before they died.
Could a demon ever come in the guise of some other more benevolent being like a Naga
I mean,
and possess someone?
that's classic demon behavior. That's their go-to.
Yeah. Um okay, Shala's like yeah, you well, I think you must be right. It can't be a real Naga. Okay. Well, while she's gone, maybe it's your time to prove yourself. I mean, you're not the high priestess for nothing. Like, and I'll be right at your side. I can help you out.
Okay, she says you're right. I will. Uh, let's put print up some flyers for a new what would they call it? Like I'm just like thinking of a like mass emergency mass or whatever. But that's basically what she's suggesting is publicize a publicize a new service where she will lead the congregation and tell them what's going on.
Okay, this is cool. And I think this is all like happening while the Naga's in this deep, is like really focused on this other, this mystical game
Yeah, I
and
think
this, yeah.
yeah, she'll call it like okay. The Naga festival got washed out, right? Like that's what we decided. That's what I said.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
it was happening, and the tsunami came.
Yeah.
So I think she'll call this one like the Great Naga Feast and hire caterers because she's sort of observing that like food is a motivator here
Right.
and
Yeah.
like trying to get people back on her side. So she's going to organize the Great Naga Feast and have you sort of help her publicize it with.
And I think at this moment, the paladin like sticks its head under the door. It says like, "Hey, we just got a bunch of, flour. Where do you want it?"
Yeah. So you're piling up all these like stockpiling all these resources in the temple, and I think there's
Yeah,
probably the worshipers are helping distribute it to people and so on. That's an interest. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. And
I think I mean, there's proactivity going on with Jumbo, but I don't think
so
he's taking like immediate action. But I think Lola. I mean, there's a lot of people coming in and out, and I don't know if any of them are like goblins or other monsters. But Lola is single and horny, so she
well,
is
yeah,
on the
yeah.
lookout for eligible
I've been like
mates.
letting
Yeah,
the ball drop. I've been letting the ball drop on that. Um,
On the single and horny aspect. That's funny.
yeah, for it, but like there's so much going on. It
oh yeah.
it kind of got swept into the. Uh, I trying to decide. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
do know the Naga is gonna just to like give an idea of what the Naga is gonna do. I think one in the next few days the Naga is gonna come and talk to the goblins. That's kind of the idea that I have, but um, not anytime soon. I think it takes her a while. I kind of like the idea of the detective work having to happen in this other like she has to go away and
Right.
like do this whole thing and it like takes a while because I like these kind of frustrating superheroes that just like disappear for a while and then like
Yeah.
things go wrong and they're always coming back to like shit going wrong. So yeah, anyways. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just looking through my notebook for a sec. I trying to remember if I wrote. Here we are. Yeah, here. So, what's this stuff called though? Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so what order do I? Am I missing anything? Oh yeah, okay. So first, let me clarify: does everyone know that the Gabos are the junkyard pallet? I forget if you didn't take any ID in particular, right? It's just like if you know, you don't know, you don't. I don't care. Yeah,
Yeah.
if that's not a big deal. Okay, so um, and so but then sort of everyone knows in the Rambles knows that the Gabos moved out and they got religion and went and lived in this temple to go live in this temple. And I think maybe I had a name. So the Knoll family. So Glega, the mother of the Knoll family, is Lola's co-worker, and so you see her. Lola has seen her around quite a bit. I don't know if is
Yeah.
Lola still doing her food cart job or is this like temple gig full time?
Full time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So ex coworker, but you saw her around and you saw her son, who was Bloody Ababa's first mate, or not first mate, but on it, just a crew member.
That's right.
Uh,
Yeah.
Right.
and his name is Kahu, and so you've seen him around, and as far as Knowles go, he's pretty hot. He's very like a the seaman's life gives him a pretty good
Uh-huh.
workout, lean, wiry abs and all that. And so
He can
uh,
pillage. He always
he can
always a plus for confidence.
so I think he comes around uh, and says like maybe while Lola is like doing like the food in like kind of one of the storehouses in like one of the back of the temple, like some storage spaces. She's like arranging supplies and getting things ready for trying to get things ready for like the great Naga feast and
Yeah.
spread out tables. What do the Gabos think of Yoshimati, incidentally? So you've sort of like the the Gabos like did the Gabos know that just Shala turns into did they see the Naga turn into Shala?
Yes. I'm
Yes,
pretty
okay.
sure.
Okay.
Um I mean
But Shala
I think they see Yoshimati as another employer that they've kind of that they're now free of, right? So
well
they will ignore her if it countermands, so with the Naga.
right. That is sort of the interesting thing because Shala seems to have set the tone that of just accepting Yoshimati back as the titular head of the temple. Like she's just like totally fallen back
Right.
into the old pattern, right? So,
Yeah.
uh, but you're just sort of doing your thing. So Lola is like I don't know, portioning out the portions of like the beans and the curry powder
Yeah.
and the rice and stuff for the Great Naga feast and how much it needs. And like this, so Kahu, the Knoll son, is just kind of wanders back, or maybe he leans in the door frame, like, hey, what? Like he's just fully turning it on.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So thought bubble. Calm down. This is great, but like, don't mess this up. Uh, is Lola's first thought. Like, now's your chance. Um. Uh. And I was imagining like, do these pirates probably dress pretty gaudily, right? Like, do they have like jewelry and
Yeah, I think it's like the earrings and the ears, and then like a necklace of bones with maybe like he's got some like fancy rings he's plundered hanging
yeah,
on his necklace, and he's wearing like the big like the sash wrapped tightly around his waist with the balloon pants or whatever, like that kind of like thing.
yeah. She
But
says, oh, well,
barefoot, no, gnolls are usually barefoot
okay,
uh,
cool.
around town.
And I was actually gonna look up a knoll. Okay, cool. Um,
Yeah.
uh,
Depending on how brave you feel, you could look up hot gnoll. I guarantee you'll find plenty.
honestly, I mean, I think I know Lola well enough that, all of these knolls that I'm seeing are hot knolls. So so he's putting, yeah, I think she says, like, my, what big teeth you have. It seems like he's just jumping right to the flirting.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, he laughs, and he sort of like deflects a little and starts looking around and says, this place is really nice. There's a lot of like nooks and crannies here.
Um,
I'm not kind of not supposed to be hanging around here because the boss is kind of on the other side now. But Just wanted to take a look around.
Oh, I think yeah, Lola. Um, yeah, I think with the psychological, she turns around and like indicating herself, right? Says like, "Well, do you like what you see?" I think she's going for it.
uh, he says he laughs again and says, "You lived in you lived in the house on Well Street, right?" And he sort of kind of tells a story about the lizard people who used to live in that house, and he's kind of like dancing around it a little bit.
Hmm.
But he is kind of like getting closer to you and into your personal space.
Yeah.
And he says, but as he's like talking to you, he's kind of looking around the place, and he's like seems to like spot like something like a crack or crevice in the ceiling. He says, "I'll bet probably no one ever looks up there, do they? Hey, could I ask you a favor?
Anything, yeah.
Uh, I'm just looking for a place to like uh put this." And he's got like a it's like a leather bag or pouch or kind of like wrapped up in like twine or something.
Yeah.
Uh, Contents unknown.
Uh-huh.
And it's not like my place isn't really a good place to put it. People are kind of like my mom's kind of nosy. Um, but like if I just put it up here, I could come back for it when I needed it.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right.
And she kind of steps back and objectifies him when he like reaches up to put
Here.
the bag up. Oh, Lola, no.
He turns around and says, "Thanks. Roll your unusual looks."
Yeah. They trigger.
I trigger. Okay. He sort of winks and says, "Maybe I'll see you around." But then, like, just I imagine Lola's is like, why so like he's already gone
Yeah.
out the
It's like you know where to find me, and by word two, he's.
talk, talking to thin air. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, I mean, she kind of collapses next to one of these big containers of spices and flour and stuff, and she's just thinking like, I think that went well.
Yeah. Okay. Fun times. Uh, that was that was good. I got to use that. That was like one of the first things in the notebook. Uh,
Nice.
so that's that. Let's see. Feel like sorry. I'm thinking about staging right now. This may take me a minute. Um, don't really have a good read on what Ababasa would be doing right now. Well, maybe I can just ask you. Does Shala make a point of seeing him very much, or does she proactively try to spend time with him? Or
Yeah, and I think actually, I was thinking that she would want to see him, um, to try to convince him to help out the Naga Temple for the feast.
okay, nice, perfect.
Yeah.
So uh, yeah, let's frame that. So he's, I think he's living in a house now. well, not that he did never have a house, but like he's living kind of in like, let's call it like North Manners. So he's kind of like upwardly mobile and trying to really keep up his appearance. I guess you would probably know that he's like spending the treasure from his last haul, when he like plundered some of the Thyatian warships and
Mm-mm.
like it's probably got like you go to the house and like I'm gonna try to imagine it. I guess it's kind of like I guess the look is kind of like colonial, like Spanish colonial little thing in this like shady grove of like palm trees and what are those like jacaranda trees or jacaranda trees? I forget how you say that, but
Yeah,
those
chuck around the trees. Yeah.
jacaranda trees, like yeah, with the like the purple flowers and stuff like that. And it's not huge, but it is very fancy looking with two stories. And you go in and like he's got like the front hall. It's kind of like the sunlight is streaking in through the windows, and he's got like his various like cutlasses and harpoons on the wall and things like that. And maybe you're kind of like sitting in the drawing room or whatever, like having a drink with him, and he's like sharing like this is we took this off a we took this brandy off of Thaatian merchantman last year. It's from the Isle of Dawn. I heard it's one of their best vintages. That kind of thing. Like he's just like kind of showing off to you that he's like doing really well. And
Okay, and I think like Shala probably wants some of this stuff. Like, she's wanting to if he's drinking this, she wants to drink some. Like I think that life at the temple has probably gotten a little more, it's harder to be flashy because all the people,
yeah,
there's been all this. Yeah, so I think she's excited about this. And I think the first thing she does is she says, she calls him a baba, not dad. She says, a baba, do you have I there, the temple's falling on hard times. Do you have any plundered silks or clothing that I could have? I or maybe the materials to make something. I mean, she's purposefully worn some like crappier looking clothes,
right,
like
right.
some old ill fitting clothes, and she's like, look at me. They're not. I thought I was, as a temple, as I would be clothed like a priestess, but I look like a washerwoman.
And the only coworkers I have are goblins. It's
Yes, exactly.
horrible.
She says, and the
Yeah.
only coworkers I have are goblins. Yes.
He's like, oh, well, I'll buy you a new dress, but I don't know about that Naga temple. It's not the way the world is going. I I really think you should maybe I can pull some strings. Uh, you're not sure if he actually has strings to pull. But
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
got money, but not necessarily like social that much social acceptance. But he's thinking maybe I can pull some strings and get you to meet some of the people in the palace who are the immortal. What do they call it? They have some like corporate sounding name for like the the Immortals Committee. Uh,
Yes. Yeah.
they're
Um,
getting in guest speakers from or diplomatic guests from other countries to like teach them how to like create what did I call it, like in a congregation center for Umkalo the Valiant, or uh, that's the way things are going. I think it's going to be a lot better than these weird old Naga temples. There's a there's a woman who's this is so self-indulgent. I'm trying out there. You know the Lady Protector of Karamikos, Rodriguez, is doing a diplomatic visit soon, and so there some really important guests are coming to like get this going. And if you get in on the ground floor, well, there's no telling how high you can go.
100 fans just started scribbling their letters
Yeah.
to the editor. Yeah.
What, what year is this set relative to previous unit? Because according to issue 3, uh, anyway,
So yeah, so she says, Ababa, you know that there's something new happening at the temple. Like you got the shit scared out of you, by the Naga, the real Naga. This isn't some thing of the past, some tired old religion anymore. It's people are excited about this, and we are gonna have a real feast, a real party soon. Um, it's not gonna be grim um, or like old fashioned or whatever else. Like we want we're trying to give the temple a new image, and we thought that maybe you could help us kind of rebrand the temple. Like the people love you. You're a man of the people. Like maybe
okay,
this could be something we could work together on.
okay, you're really speaking his language. The flattery, I think. Uh, he's like, well, okay, look, because you're my daughter, I will make an appearance at the feast. Uh, I will have to be discreet. I can't. Don't expect me to speak anyway. But I will. I will quietly support you.
Okay, and she says, okay, there's and she tells him the dress code. Like there's like certain rules about wearing, like the people who show up that have the means to, they should be dressed in certain kinds of clothes. Like snake themes are appreciated, and like swords ought to be curved in the temple as the snake is curved, not straight. Like that, for example. Like she's kind of filling him in on some things. Um, about that. And she tells him like the kind of dress she'll need for the festival to make sure she looks good. And she gives him some specifications on like how he could help her, you know.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. And so
but she does want to hang out with him. Like it's a little bit like gimme this, gimme that. But I don't know. I feel like this is the only kind of way she can just talk to him and hang out with him. So
yeah, and so I
yeah.
think he does just like takes her to the dressmaker in this like fancy shop, fancy uptown shop. And so, they sort of like enjoy that time together.
All right, I like this.
And he says, well, you look great. I'll see you there. Curved sword and all.
Okay.
I don't have any other kind.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Okay, this is good.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's see. Do we need to get anything else done? Let me check. Notebook check again. We got that. We got some. Yeah. Um, so I think we can go to the feast. The feast. Uh, this is maybe not as like neighborhood wide a thing as the Crit Festival was originally intended to be, because it's just not enough time to get everything like together. Probably people are still a little discouraged. Like there's still like repairs going on, and but the Naga temple itself is looking pretty festive with like the colored paper banners draped over all the statues outside, and and like the courtyard is set for like, with tables with all like the food piled up on it. Um, and so, people are sort of pouring into the courtyard and everything's, going on. You and the goblins have your hands pretty full. Just, I think probably Shamani's hired some extra help and like the caterers and so on, but you've got your hands pretty full, like managing everything and running back and forth. And so the the funny thing about the day of the feast is that an unseasonable ocean fog settled on the waterfront, and so the air around. What an obvious setup! Like, gee, do you think this fog means anything? Anyway, uh, it means you'll be attacked, and so that's sort of like the air is kind of like. So this is like trying to remember exactly how this feels. Like it's like if it's like a little damp, but not necessarily like cool. It's like muggy. It's like warm air sitting on like a cooling trend in the water. So it's probably not caused by any sort of mysterious weather. Which, anyway, so it's foggy and you're having your party. It's fine.
I want to say, Lola has taken the opportunity, uh, as church members do, to get like the best pickings from the table. So
Right.
she's made the plates and made sure.
Yes.
She couldn't find Jumbo because Jumbo's doing the true faithful thing, but I think Lola and Papa are like up on the roof, like looking down into the courtyard. They've got their plates, and Papa's just like kind of looking at the people, I think, pretty curiously, and Lola's looking for Kahu, um, and they're
Okay.
just up
Yeah.
there chatting.
Yeah. I think Kahu's pretty scarce today. Ababa is there though, oddly enough. Uh, some people, shake his hands and talk to him and like things like that. But he's sort of like trying to like sit in a corner by himself where he's not drawing too much attention. Uh, but
I think Shala is purposefully hanging out with him a lot.
Wow.
Like
right,
she's sitting with him and talking with him and stuff, and like I feel like she doesn't get to be around him at these official things a lot related to the Naga temple and stuff. So she's like showing off, or not showing off, but just like actually not showing off at all, just hanging out with him. But anyways,
Oh, it,
just to
yeah, I
give you
think
an idea of who she is.
Papa's looking down on that. They have this kind of bird's eye view, and he says like it's gonna it's gonna
like hanging.
cause quite a stir when the Naga appears, and he's
Yeah,
yeah, he's kind of mapping it out.
yeah. Um, so let's. Where do I have your? I put your character sheets in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, in the folder for the game, so I never should need to ask. But let's. If you have skills or powers that are relevant. I don't think Gaba doesn't look like the Gabas. Oh, no, they do. Well, so does the Gabo's awareness power require them to be in the paladin suit?
I don't like for Lola for like the sinister, magical stuff. I don't think she needs to be in the suit. For more of like the combat awareness stuff, like they do because it's all of them kind of looking in all directions and yeah, kind of having that 360-degree view.
Yeah. So I guess like maybe roll Lola's tricky, roll the tricky, the ego
Uh-huh.
based.
Yeah. That is a success, right on the nose.
Okay, perfect. This
Ooh, nice.
this diegetically justifies all of my sarcastic comments about how obvious a setup this is. Because I think Lola, Lola feels it. Like, it's interesting. You had Papa just deliver a line about like the Naga showing up in heavens, and Lola just feels like something's going to go wrong here.
She's
Something's
just like, I,
coming.
I don't like that fog. I mean, I know it feels cold. I've got like a shiver, in my bones. Okay, yeah, I mean, given that, Rod, I think she's gonna like quickly, gobble some food,
Mhm.
and then say, hey, just meet me over at the Paladin. I'm gonna go find Jumbo. I don't know.
Okay.
I've got a weird feeling about this. Yeah,
Okay, and so you can sort of get that, and so you're going to get that together with
cool.
them. Be in the you can be in the suit when shit goes down. Now, the Naga, I don't think detective work really. Well, I don't know. Is the Naga thinking about what is the Naga thinking about while like
Um, the Naga is, I think, like just coming back to like awareness of what's going on and is like just watching this party happen. Um, I don't know if the Naga's detective work would be
the yeah, I'm trying to
helpful.
let me look at the book.
I mean, if there's any overlap with the caldera, she might have picked up on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not about that.
yeah,
The question is more about like, well, detective work by default is proactive, right? It's not like an alert,
Yeah.
right? But since the way you've defined it is her just like doing these like I Ching readings or whatever, it it kind of has a broad enough application that may be applied either as technical analysis or as a flash of intuition, but requires a dedicated attempt in either case. It cannot be performed by accident. Uh, that's interesting. All right. So, I mean, I'd say you can roll it. This is what am I? What am I trying to? I'm just trying to like get the get the parameters. Um, it's reasonable to roll it in this situation if you think the Naga is thinking about what's going on at the festival or with the unseasonable fog.
Right.
So this is more in the lines of a not of a player tips prompt, I guess, on what
Yeah.
applicable parameters are. Not that I'm saying that like there's not that I'm calling for a perception roll.
Yeah. Um, yeah, let me think. So this is like, yeah, I'm just trying to think if she has this.
What
No, I know it's no. She's not. She's like annoyed and like kind of like rummaging around in this other place, like getting technology ready for this like confrontation with the bird people. And
okay,
she's
yeah,
like looking over and seeing this like the shimmering like other world and seeing like this festival happening and being like, all right,
yeah,
okay, whatever.
yeah.
So
So
yeah.
does she have anything up in her VPP right now? Like what was it last time?
Um. Oh geez, yeah. What was
it
it?
was the
It
force
was
wall.
force wall. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But this is yeah, she's definitely it's probably something related to yeah, let's see. Um yeah, I think it's still probably force wall. Yeah.
Okay. Uh
Or wait, it's probably some kind of yeah, some kind of Yeah, I'll think about it. I think let's just keep it forceful for now.
Okay.
So
All right. So that's that, and I think you sort of are just doing your. So Shala is sort of just doing her thing, like at the feast, and trying to spend time with her father, and then the Gabos have gotten like kind of the paladin ready to go, and are kind of like peering out with you know. Hmm?
Yeah, I think we're gonna. So once we're all there, we're gonna like be on the roof.
Okay.
And since I've got the awareness up, I think maybe Jumbo's rigged up some kind of sensor, and they're, I mean, like kind of just scanning the immediate vicinity to find out, what's coming.
Okay, and so I think what you'll realize is that there are, like, out there in the fog, like you sort of see like these like goblin and bugbear pirates approaching like from all sides of the courtyard and getting ready, like with grappling hooks, getting ready to scale the wall. And then, but just like coming down the street, like straight at the front gate is, and I guess this guy will step out of the fog and like into the courtyard. But this is an ogre, and this is a famous pirate named Glauger the Spike. And so he's a huge, like he's a 9 foot tall ogre with like lumpy mustard yellow skin and like bright green like hair in like braids with like little skulls woven into the braids and stuff like that. And he also has like the pirate pants and like leather bands wrapped around his feet and stuff like that. But he's got like an anchor chain wrapped around his waist and sort of draping loosely so that he can pay it out. And he uses like just this gigantic rusty anchor as a weapon. So
Hell
he's
yeah.
got that over his shoulder. And he's just striding straight towards the front door. And because you have the awareness up, we can go into combat, and you can proactively act before.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at you'll still, do I need to send you that Jamboard link again? How did I do that?
Yeah, it was just on. The link is just a little further up, and then I printed it too.
Give me one second. I'm just gonna go grab water.
Oh yeah.
Be right back.
I love that anchor.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so I think maybe we can do your phase 12,
Uh huh.
right? And then
Sure.
the round can start after that. But you'll get to act before like the pirates who are the hazards are over the walls. And
Yeah.
that'll be good. And this guy, here we go. These two. And so um and so I was just saying to Noah, oh, it's one more thing, just as a as part of the awareness thing. As you sort of preparing to do whatever you were going to do, leaping off the roof or otherwise, you do catch out of a like rear view mirror that there's someone else on the roof higher up than you,
Mm-hmm.
and it's one of the bird people. This one you did not see before. It's a black palm cockatoo person who is wearing, like, he's also wearing black. He's just basically in the full ninja suit
Fuck
with
yeah.
like a sword on his back, and he's like wearing these little weird goggles that are basically like high tech binoculars, and he's just like he seems to be like not primed to move or anything, but he's just watching the festival and watching what's going on, like really still, like the classic ninja, like not moving, moving.
Now the bird people are something that the Naga is interested in, so maybe should I make a detective
That
work
is
roll?
true. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and make it a take.
Okay. Oh, I just dropped a die.
Yeah, specifically that.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see.
Okay.
Or is this the bird people like
Yeah, this is
the
relevant to this. Yeah, I forgot.
okay.
Sorry, I forgot earlier that this was going to be part of this. So
Oh no, that's fine. Okay, I actually made it. I got an 11.
okay, yeah. So I think you've like, maybe the Naga does one more reading because she's trying to get it. Yeah, and you get this sort of like, in a enemy near, like spies in the
Yeah.
house result, and so you
Yes.
like realize, like the Naga realizes that there is one of these people is like following you around and spying on you.
Okay, so I think the tricky aspect I have this instant growth change thing.
Yeah.
And I think the tricky aspect is actually in this instance represented by the Naga trying to convince Shala to like go to the bathroom for a second, basically.
Okay. Right. Right.
So,
Okay.
so the activation is 14 minus. So should I try to roll that? So
Yeah.
to see if I
Go
don't know if
ahead.
this okay. Because it's not going to happen like immediate. It'll be like Shala walks away and then suddenly.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got a 9, so it should be fine. So I guess Shala she's like laughing and goofing around with her dad, and they're like I think people are I'm picturing like people dancing some kind of snake related dance. Um and then she's about to like go up and dance, and then she like holds her stomach and she's like, "Oh, like oh." And then she just like runs off and she's like blushing
Oh.
and yeah. And yeah. So, yeah, the Naga's coming out.
These may be relevant. All right. And so,
Oh, does this mean that Shala's like beautiful dress gets ruined as the
Um
Naga bursts out?
well, how does it work?
the Naga like takes the place of there's
Okay.
some kind of
All right.
matter
Right.
transference
Yeah. Like
like
they switch places. Right. Like,
Cool.
yeah, it's like some rule of like matter displacement that has to
Okay.
be
Cool.
maintained. Yeah.
okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
So let's take a look at, I put the map of the temple in the, right. So I guess the pirates, they never know how many pirate hazards to put, how many hazards to put when I'm doing all these sort of like dudes attacking things, but it's, it's plenty. So let's say there's like four on each side and then he's just coming down the middle. Actually, one of the four is like, let me see if one of the four is actually his first mate, which is a different hazard. So like, well, what's okay? So yeah, I guess on 12, the Naga goes to the bathroom and
Yes.
then
Yes.
changes. And then what's the junkyard paladin doing?
Well, so okay. So what I'd like to know is there any like cultural hierarchy or connection between ogres and goblins? I mean, this guy has goblins following him.
Yeah, they're kind of like, I'm trying to remember if like, because I know goblins and bugbears are different, distantly related in official D&D lore, and
Yeah.
ogres are ogres are also kind of common, I guess related, but they're common co-livers with goblins. Usually usually the ogre is kind of like an ally or like a hired gun type situation to a goblin chieftain or a bugbear chieftain. So this is a this is a different case, and I'm trying to. Well, I guess the question is how much do the Gavos know about just ordinary cultural events and the news of the past 10 years or so with
Nothing.
yeah, it's virtually nothing. So you would just like it's pretty easy to see that the ogre is the boss here, but you wouldn't have any particular context for why that is or what
Yeah.
this is about. And,
Okay.
uh,
Um.
now, Shala actually would, like I said, he's a new
Oh,
pirate, and Shala actually would
right.
know this, uh, the history of the guy. In fact, your father knows him, um, and
Okay.
sort of,
Yeah.
and is scared of him. By the way, uh, he's a pretty ferocious pirate who mainly preys on Phaeacian uh, ships. He was in. He was actually a mercenary for Thyatis in the Isle of Dawn campaign when the Phaeacian mercenary general Adrian took the Isle of Dawn back from Alphatia, and so General Adrian went on to become the current emperor of Thyatis, and but Glauger was sort of passed over and got his pay and sent on his way, and he's sort of always resented Phaeacian society and human society in general. That's sort of like his backstory that you would know about him. But in terms of what is relevant to you immediately, like he's a pirate and he preys on preys on ships, and now he's here apparently.
Okay. So as he's coming up, I mean, Papa Gabo is going to go up to the speaking horn, and out of the this amplified voice is going to tell Glauger, this warren is occupied and guarded. Get out of here. Like there's already goblins living here.
All right. He'll respond, haha, there's treasure in this war, and I've been told, and I'm here to get it out. Yes, boys.
uh
I just have a quick question. So we have our 5 points of physical security. So what does that mean for the temple?
I think, oh, yeah, that's right. I think that means
Like
that
what?
some of the worshipers are like dressed up as actual guards and like have halberds.
Okay.
So that's actually important. So they can actually fight with the pirates, and maybe that's less
yeah.
relevant. You don't have to like get get through this interference of these hazards kind of pestering you in order to confront the villain directly. I think that's what that's going to mean. So,
Okay. Cool.
so you know, we can call that not necessarily having to worry about most of the hazards. The first mate is going to pretty handily overpower any guards who get in his way because he is. So let's go into.
Well,
Now you can speak for free. Do you want to do anything else on phase 12?
oh
Like
yeah,
just
I
get your
mean, uh
position situated.
so
situated.
I'm doing a move through attack, so I'm firing up the thrusters, and that's a
All right.
successful act. Oh no, it's an unsuccessful activation. So here's what happens: is Papa Gabo is taking the warlike goblin approach, and Jumbo is now fighting over the horn because he wants to, tell Glauger about the good news, that, we don't have to fight for treasure anymore. There's plenty for all because the Naga provides. And so, I mean, I was going to go 10 hexes,
Okay.
flying an attack, and hit Glauger, but you get to send
Great.
me someplace else.
Okay. So I think you just like plow into the ground. You plow like through the festival tables and destroy the Great Naga feast and just sort of plow into the dirt, maybe off to the side of Glauger. And so I think you're prone and well, make a dex roll. I mean, you don't have acrobatics, but maybe you can control your fall.
That's a success.
Okay. So I guess not prone, but just sort of covered with uh covered with lentil soup and curry in a humiliating way.
And Lola's
He's
shouting like, "Stop fighting, you two! I can't pilot this thing with your foot in my face. There's just limbs everywhere."
okay, and so I think does anyone remember offhand what default running speed is? The default movement speed. I'm always playing characters who either fly or jump around, so
Yeah,
I never remember
6 hexes of running.
that's
6 axes of running it. And is running a full move, right? That's your full move, right? So if you half move, you only get 3.
I
But
think
if you
so,
have
yeah.
growth, which he has always on growth, you get +2 per level. So you get so you're right. So he walked 4, runs 8. All right. And his and did I tell you that this when I drew this map, did I say that this is just like the scale is 1 square to 1 hex? Like that's what
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So that was phase 1. That was phase 12, so we don't have to worry about that. Phase 2, no, phase 1,
oh.
nothing happens. You have to be
So
pretty.
sorry, that was phase. That was my free phase 12.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Correct.
Okay. Okay.
So
Cool.
phase 1, I'm trying to remember what you have to use. In the old chart, you literally have to have a speed of 12 to go on phase 1. So almost nothing ever happens. Uh Phase 2. So Glauger has a dex of 13, and he is a villain.
Hmm.
So he will go
Mhm.
first. Uh, your
So
your
just to say, where's so the Naga's hidden from view because she's literally like appeared.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
In,
let's look
okay,
at the
okay,
map and let's say you had to go. Maybe there's a bathroom in the bottom floor of these towers. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just a place to hide it. So maybe the
yeah,
tower on the left or the tower on the right, your choice.
yeah. Let's say the left.
And so he has the default. And so on phase 2, Glauger has a dex of 13, and he is a villain, so he'll go before the Naga. So he's going to. Oh, I didn't finish filling out these stats. And that means that is. He is going to like just walk forward, and he walks forward. And like he sort of like yells out like the treasure's in those walls, boys. It's got to come down. And he sort of whips his anchor and throws the anchor chain like 5 hexes into the temple. So he throws it like through the door, standing outside in the forecourt. He throws it through the big doors of the temple and grabs like one of the pillars of the temple with his anchor and yanks. And I need the material strength table. I should have made a note of this.
Yeah. What are you looking for? What material?
It's like stone wall
Okay.
or something like that.
Like stone
Yeah,
chunk.
rock wall or surface. Like so, it's 5 defense, body 13. So it takes a lot to put on pillars. But he's got a lot. But because he's doing this, he's not necessarily hurting any of you directly. But he can also just do this. His anchor chain, by the way, is like stretching, so
Cool.
he's not having to like hit with a weapon. He's just like effectively he uses it so effectively it's almost like part of his body. And he is gonna roll against this pillar. Let me write that down. Pillars. 5, 8, 13.
Oh, it in a thought bubble. I mean, I think Lola is like, Glauger's pretty hot, and what precipitates that, because she's been practicing like this piloting, right? So that maneuvering, like she really, she understands how much precision has to go into one of these attacks, and
Yeah.
yeah, so she's get this respect tinged with attraction.
All right. So like the pillar cracks and splinters under Glauber's pull, but it holds for now. But anyone who's sort of in there would see just like cracks going up like the ceiling of the temple. It was just like this obscene. He does have to pay endurance for that amount of force, just like rippling through the stone structure of this building.
Oh yeah.
And that was Glauber. And so the Naga is next.
Okay, so there's the missile deflection power. This guy's throwing around a big anchor.
Yeah.
So I think the Nagas
Well, the
and
anchor is not mechanically, it's not a missile.
right, it says so. I'm just seeing like um the attacks that may defect include thrown objects less than 1 hex in size, gunfire, blast, and other attacks as determined by special effects. So I was wondering if the throwing of the anchor would count as a missile as determined by special effects.
The way I've conceived it, like, what is your missile deflection? Like, what's the definition of how you do it?
Yeah, so I think this is some kind of this is like
Wait, where?
this is a very I'm thinking of a variable power pool
Oh, you're
thing here. Yeah. Yes. So I was thinking of some kind of like magnetic deflection thing. Basically, the Naga's gonna pull out of this thing.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think it's gonna work like that.
Okay.
Or like sticking with like force field or force wall. Well, your force wall maybe not. Depending on where, like the force field would almost work better. You can like make what 4 hex size. You can have 20 points, so you make 4 hex size, right?
Yeah.
So you can like have a directional force wall that keeps him from getting in if you're at the right range.
Okay.
Like basically, he's going to be, if you get in a fight, you sort of know he's going to be whipping this chain around and like looping it around behind you or whatever. So
Right.
like keeping him at the right range and putting up the wall would maybe keep him from getting it something or getting it to you. But no, it's
Okay.
not. It's not a question of missile deflection. I think.
Okay. All right. So let's see. So what is the
Oh,
so
sorry, Sam. Just that once you're in the situation, oh well, actually, we're still fighting. But once I make an ego roll, we'll be filling you in on the bird ninja, all of the date, like the number of enemies. So all of that context will drop as a print as a speech.
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, cool. So I am below this tower.
So he's like, yeah, kind of in the middle of this courtyard. He's like four spaces into the courtyard, so he's like almost at the doors, like one space away from the doors is where you
Right.
need to do this.
Okay. Let's see. Um. Okay, so yes. Let's see. So I think there's like a bonus for like surprise attacks in this game, right? Like there's like a
Yeah.
bonus to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that I want to try using I want to use my variable power pool. So
Okay.
I'm thinking of having some kind of tunnel thing happen. So this is the Naga actually like um using this technology that will allow her to step really into this other place and like walk through a tunnel below this guy and maybe pop out from under him. That's kind of what I'm picturing because she normally is kind of half in and half out of this other realm. So I'm thinking that this will let her like actually enter that other realm while still being in this realm.
Hell yeah.
So
There's like a
I
manhole
guess I have
cover
to.
with Naga carvings on it right beneath him.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when I was in the like Ron's like prepper like beta testing game or whatever, alpha testing really game for this, right? Like my guy was like an Egyptian themed wizard, and I did like the same kind of tunneling thing with like going like riding on Anubis's boat under.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing
Okay.
else. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so it's a similar idea she's exploiting. Well, let's see. Let's see. So
Yeah,
I
I think
have my what's my what I have to my skills in 11 probably, right? To do the
uh
to change what's
yeah, I think it's did you define it as intelligence based, I think.
yeah.
So whatever that so whatever that is.
Okay, so 11. Okay, so let me see. Okay, that's a failure.
Oh, okay.
So this means she's like rummage. It's I wrote cosmic rummaging. She's not actually like inventing this stuff. She just is like
Oh yeah.
literally like looking around for shit, and she can't find what she's looking for. So that's a half phase action. So the other half phase, I think she's going to Jesus. Um, yeah, I think she's gonna. Oh shit, this is not very good. Yeah, she's gonna slither out into the. Well, yeah, she's gonna slither out there. Yeah, into the. No, I think she has to stay hidden. Yeah, she's gonna stay hidden for now
Okay,
because
he stays in the
I don't
tower.
want her to get. Yeah.
Okay. And so Baba, I think, is making himself scarce right now. I have him on the map. I have him on the chart just in case like it comes up, but for now he's not fighting these guys. Uh and then the paladin.
I imagine he would be running after where Shala went. I mean, unless he doesn't care at all about his daughter's life.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That makes a lot of sense. So I think he's running towards, yeah, he does. No, he does care. So I think he's running towards her, towards the tower, right?
Right, towards the Naga.
So he's sort of like, yeah, on the other side of the courtyard now from where getting close. Point is, he's close enough to the tower to get there like next time he has an action.
Okay, can I say I'm sorry to keep on, but like I think that Naga would be heading towards the top of the tower just to have some kind of like yeah. So she's moving up there. Yeah.
Okay, and paladin on phase two.
Yeah, so we've got movement sorted, so I think until I make one of these ego rolls, Papa and Jumbo are still kind of tussling, but Lola has managed to kind of wedge them out, and has wiped the lentil soup off of the
The
visor, and
yeah,
now is the paladin is like taking these huge pneumatic leaps toward
right.
Glauger, and Lola's gonna try to clock him. Uh,
Okay.
yeah,
You're
so I've
using
got to make my activation roll first.
okay.
That's a success. All right, so I at least get to roll to hit. Uh, and I think So Lola is gonna like totally put everything into this that the system is capable of. And she says like if you two won't protect our new home, I will. And bam. So
Okay.
his dex is 13. Is that right?
13, but he might dodge. Well,
Yeah.
this is an interesting question because you basically face planted in the dirt your first time out. So I'm going to make an intelligence roll for him to see if he even clocks you as a threat. He does not, so no dodge.
Oh shit.
This thing, what is
Okay.
this thing doing? Ridiculous.
So okay, so I am rolling. I think I'm just trying to roll under 13 with the punch, and that is a success. So I hit, and
If I recall correctly, this is decent.
this is gonna hurt. Yeah. So the power is called routing steam power to the fist. So there's it's super fast, lots of steam flying out.
And I remind myself how you built this. You prioritized. Did you end up prioritizing not improved knockback or
Yeah, I kept the high
yeah, I am.
impact.
I am. That's what
Yeah,
it's called. Now it's last.
and so I'm gonna do 5 core, 5
Okay.
knockback, and I guess she's punching up, so he's flying into the air, and then
Yeah.
5, 8, 12, 17 knockout damage.
Okay. And let's see. If he flies straight up in the air and comes out, where's the falling damage section? Does anyone remember this procedure?
Yeah,
Why?
I'll find it.
Why do I? Why am I so? Why have I run this game so much and I'm so bad at remembering procedures? Uh, Version hazards. Distance fallen 5 hexes. So 1d6 per hex is 5. So another
Oh
5d6, I
shit!
think.
So he gets punched again by the ground when he
Yeah,
lands.
yeah,
Oh
basically.
man! Do you mind if I roll that?
Go ahead and roll that.
All right, that is gonna be one, two, three, four core, 17 knockout.
Okay. So he goes flying in the air and 5 hexes. He might like I think he's already got yeah. I think he like goes he's spinning in the air and his anchor chain unravels from around his waist and he comes down sort of like next to it like with a huge dust cloud and this is where like after the cloud like settles down he's just like standing there with his arms crossed and for the record he took 0 damage from your attack.
Nice.
Jesus.
And So that was
Phase.
the end of 2.
Yeah.
So now it's 3. So it's Glauger's turn. He has a speed of 8. This is a monster. My most threatening. And I think he does just say, "My turn."
Yeah.
He'll punch you.
Yeah.
Cool guy. I like him.
So Dex 13.
We're gonna dodge, I think. I'm imagining that Lola has kind of gotten everyone organized, you know. And she's been practicing, right? So she sees that and she's moving. So yeah,
So
we'll cancel.
your base dex is 11.
Right.
15, so he needs a 13 on you normally. So the dodge will reduce that to 10. I don't think you have acrobatics, right?
No.
So you need a 10 or less. And we have got, you just barely missed this. Okay.
Hell yeah.
You get a lot of endurance out of it. But this is like the paladin leans back as like his fist goes by and like the thunderclap from his punch like shakes you in your seats as you dodge.
And Lola's saying like too slow, big guy, and move. I think this suit is kind of moving with a moment of shocking grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Uh, hazards go on uh, phase 3. Okay, so this is the phase where the hazards would be stuck. Most of them will be just fighting your guys. The you'll you'll probably notice like the first mate crew. Okay, I got a picture of this guy. Like the dudes, like the guards fighting him, just like drop their halberds and flee, and they're like retching and fainting because he's a troglodyte, and when they get agitated or excited, they emit a horrifying odor. Let me find this classic. You may have even seen this picture if you've seen the Mold Bay monster pictures, but
Oh my god.
this is what he looks like. But
Yes.
he spends this phase doing that, but he's going to try to like run and join the fight. He is only a hazard, but he's pretty gross.
Wow.
He's cool.
And so that was phase 3. So now we're on phase 4. We got the Naga. Oh,
Okay.
I grabbed that one.
So I'm at speed 6. What's the paladin at?
He's also at 6. You're both on 6, so you'll always
Yeah.
Yeah.
you'll always go on
I'm
6.
wondering if we need to go for like a coordinated attack because then we could maybe punch through this guy's. He seems to have a lot of defense.
This is a good
Um,
idea.
yeah, so I think the Naga is now hopefully standing on top of the
Yeah,
tower.
And Glauger doesn't have a phase on 4, so you've
Right.
actually there's like a window for you to like.
Oh yeah, and sorry, so I can't go on this phase since I canceled for
Oh, because
dodge.
you dodged
So my
it.
next
Yeah.
phase is coming
Right.
up on 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the Naga is oh yeah, okay. So I think the Naga has to do something. So I don't want to blow a bunch of like okay, so I think the Naga is she has this surface's Escher power. So I think she's walking like she's slithering like around and to put herself like above Glauger so she can like throw herself down onto him. And she's um okay, she's not saying anything because I don't know she she doesn't have stealth.
Not a
Oh.
yeller, not a battle cry yeller.
Yeah, but I think I guess she's gonna. Well, I don't even know if it's worth trying to just hit this guy or if I should wait for us to both go for it. But she's gonna throw herself down onto to him. Yeah, she's got to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's gonna go for shit. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm gonna try a martial kick because it adds more damage.
Oh, cool.
And that's her tail. Like that's she's like landing and then whipping him with her tail.
Okay.
Hell
That's
yeah.
interesting. So, does he? Let's look at his phases. This is 4. I think he will go ahead and dot. You've got what, like 3 levels of growth, right?
They have 3 levels of growth. Yeah.
Yeah, like so.
And she's bigger than him, right?
Yeah, you're bigger than him. Like he's
Yeah.
like you clearly look like a threat. So I think he is gonna. I'm gonna use my patented tapping technique, and he will dodge this. Where's my there we go. This thing. So he's aborting his 5.
Okay. So
Next.
I have a 13 dex, so I'll just roll and tell you the number, and I get a -2, right, for martial kick.
That's for martial kick. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I have. Okay. Yeah. No way. So I get a 13. So there's no way.
Okay. Yeah. No. With the dodge, he jumps out of the way. So your tail. I think. How much strength was putting in that? Don't forget to spend the endurance.
Oh, I forgot to. Yeah. I guess 5d6 because that's what I have.
Yeah. But it's you were above him. I think your tail like smacks into the ground and like just flagstone chips go flying everywhere. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Sort of like surprisingly nimbly for an ogre, like hops out of the space you were just going to attack.
And so that cost me 5 endurance, right?
Yeah, 5 endurance. Yeah, I think you
Okay.
don't think you pay for the growth strength, or do you?
Just stuff. No, you still pay endurance for
You
the
still pay
strength
for
you
the
use. Yeah. You just
Oh yeah, I was just using my normal strength. I wasn't using the strength.
Oh, you weren't using the extra. Okay, so
Yeah.
you just put five dice. Okay,
Yeah.
that's uh. So
Yeah, and this is not the Naga saying, he like we've gotta both hit him. Yelling that to the
Yeah.
paladin.
And so I think also on this phase, Abava runs to the tower, not
Yeah.
yet having not made the connection between the Naga and Shala yet, and is yelling, Shala, where are you? And I think like Kruma, the troglodyte, kind of tracks him with his eyes, and like
Okay.
recognizes, hey, that's that bastard Abava. And then phase 5, Glauger aborted. Phase 6, Glauger. Okay, so he's got the Naga, the Paladin. He is basically, well, he's got 2 on him. He's basically sort of riding the Paladin off as a problem. But with the Naga, does he actually attack? What's he trying to do here? So yeah, I think he's just gonna say like, damn it, they didn't tell me this. They didn't tell me this big ass snake was part of the deal. But he's gonna like whip his anchor like off the pillar of the temple and like pull it back to his hand and like try to like smack the Naga in the face with the anchor.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe I should. I'm like I should dodge, but I want us to be able to both get our
Right.
tag in. How does my force field going up work? I don't. I'm sorry. I just haven't played this game enough to know.
Yeah, I think anytime you're attacked, I think you can reactively do the force field.
Okay, without dropping a.
Yeah, but you do pay endurance.
Yes. Yes.
However, well, wait. Yeah, it's not directly in the. I forget it, but my understanding is that's how it works.
Let one. I'm gonna look at the actions because I feel like I think it's a zero phase action, but you might need to do it on your turn.
Right. Um, Power points endurance. I'm not seeing what action type it is. Is that somewhere else in the book where it just talks about action?
Yeah, page 174 is so a zero phase action. You can do it at any point during a phase, turning a power on or off.
Okay. Can
Can
I
you?
get a bit of grace and
Yeah,
have
yeah.
turn it
You
on?
can
Yeah,
turn.
because I just don't know the rules. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just you can pay. Wait during a phase. Figure you're active on. Yeah, so it is your thing. But
Okay,
just
cool.
pay the endurance for it, whatever.
Yeah, so 3 endurance. Oh man. Uh okay.
Force field is 15, so like three
Yeah.
endurance,
Yeah, yeah.
three resistant defense. Okay.
So I
Uh,
have 6, so that means I have 6 resistant defense from that.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go. And he will swing.
Cool.
And
Jeez.
he's gonna go for it. It's your big old snake. And he needs
And
an
does
11.
my martial
I don't
kick.
know. You have a dex of 13, so even though you're not dodging, it's an 11 or less. He
Now
does.
my
Wow.
my does my martial kick, it says +1 defensive. Does that is that like right now?
Oh
I have
yeah, yeah. No, that's right now. Okay, I forgot there was
so I've
defensive
like landed like in a cool snake pose.
on the martial
So
kick defense.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. That's
-2.
the
Yeah, I kind of thought it would be minus, but no.
all right. So you dodge out of his way, and he's like, I think with his anchor, he just like brings it down like straight into the dirt, and he's like, just it's buried so deep, he's straining to get it out as you like slither away in your big snake pose, and you can tell that he's he's used a lot of gas doing all
Yeah, and
this.
I think the Naga's like, you're not used to fighting someone who's bigger than you and more agile than you fucking oaf.
And it's the Naga's turn.
Okay, so do the Gobos have an action too here?
Yeah, so if you
Is-
we can yeah, we're back to back, so I think we can go simultaneously, try to coordinate.
Yeah, we should do a coordinated attack. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I don't know exactly how this works because I mean, yeah. So
Yeah, it's been a while since I've done it. I think you just hold your action until
Yeah.
you do the thing. Now it is a -2 offensive penalty.
yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm like, is this gonna work? Like,
What's really good, like when if you have someone who can like stun them or entangle them,
yeah,
that's how we
yeah.
balance
So do
things.
the Gobos have the Gobos?
So it was
Did the Gobos have like an entangle thing or anything like that?
No.
Okay, so it's time. The Naga's got to reach back into the technology stuff. I think to try to pull out something that can kind of
Okay.
yeah, something that can. I think it's same the idea of the magnetic thing to like mess with this guy's anchor to kind of try to wrap it around him to entangle it or something,
okay.
entangle him or something. So okay, so I have to roll my intelligence here. Oh my god, I got a 12.
Oh
Shit.
shit.
Okay, so the Naga's like reaching and yeah, and cannot find the right thing. Um yeah, I don't know. This is not good.
And
So
that
that's
was
a hat
half phase. I think you
that's a
could still
half phase.
eat it. Or you went ahead and did your what am I trying to say? Sorry, don't wait for it. It's okay, so you did your control skill, so you
Yeah,
kind of can't hold you can't hold a half phase.
right.
So you just have to figure out what you're going to do with it this round, or if anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, I'm at 22 endurance. Jesus. So can we still attack?
You can still attack. You're just not going to
Yeah.
get a coordinated attack.
Yeah, and it seems it's
that-
tough. Yeah, this is tough. So
Now, if you grab him and you kind of manage to hold him, which is not necessarily going to be easy, but it just depends on what his options are. But if you
yeah,
grab him, you can potentially hold him and then like squeeze him as part of a coordinated attack.
Ooh.
okay,
Keep a hold of him.
right. Yeah, let's go for it. She's gonna try to grab him with her tail.
Okay.
Hey.
And I have my extra limb, so I should be giving myself a +1 on all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Jesus. All right, so do I need to do any strength stuff for that, or how does that work?
So technically, this is weird. I think when you make the grab, don't you don't spend strength on the grab itself. You spend it if you choose to squeeze this round or
Okay,
when they try to break out
right.
is how I understand it. I'm
Okay, that
not
makes sense.
100% sure on that, but I believe that makes sense to me.
Okay. All
Okay.
right, I'm gonna go for it. So I have 14 then, -1 defense for the defense. So I have 13.
That's actually
Um,
super interesting if I'm right about that. That does let me again, I'm going to look in the old third edition book for uh, directive from the original, see what they were thinking in the original text. But also, what I'm hesitating on is that would give characters a way to make an attack without committing strength
right.
before they attack, and I'm not sure if that's intended or not intended to be how,
Mm.
like, pretty strong. Where was grab in the original? Squeezes or something. Yeah, I'm actually genuinely not sure. Let's rules break while I just go
Yeah.
ahead and see
Oh yeah. I'm looking too.
for it. Grab the all by squeeze. You know what? Looking up this grab stuff reminds me that I gave this guy a +1 skill level with grab, and if he had just grabbed you, he would have. Yeah.
Oh. Oh, I forgot those skill. Right, I forgot about those too.
Bad play. Oh, do you have skill levels?
No, but I just forgot that that's an option, and I didn't know that they worked like that. Honestly, I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm not 100% on this. I I guess I'll say if you want to do something with strength this turn that you grab them, then you have to spend before rolling.
Right. Yeah, that makes
Otherwise,
sense.
you can grab them, but you won't do something this turn.
Yeah, I think like yeah, I don't. So the squeeze just does damage, right?
Yeah, exactly. And throw.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, I don't think I'm trying to do damage. I think like I just feel like maybe more.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay, so let me roll my. So I have 13. So I got a. Oh man, I keep rolling like shit. So I got a 13. I don't know if that I probably don't hit, right?
Oh, that's not gonna hit.
Damn, yeah. So I'm missing grabbing him. I think probably my tail's around him, but he's just like, able to kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I can't actually like control him with it.
And Junkyard Paladin.
Okay, so sorry, Rod. Can you remind? Are we on phase 6 still?
This is 6. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So the
Actually,
hazards.
on 6 is still in the tower. Yelling, "Shala, where did you get?"
Yeah.
I think he's gotten to the tower anyway. But Paladin on the 6. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are gonna go for an activation roll of life support because those hazards are going on deck 0, and I think I'd like to take out that troglodyte. That is a success. So, uh, our air filtration system is kicking in.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. And we are, you know what? We are just moving up. I'm gonna roll. So we clocked. Just given that we have this awareness, like we clocked, him going,
Right,
following, and so he's kind of scanning, and then the shadow of the paladin falls
right.
across him, and we hit. So
Okay.
uh, and
Uh,
and oh yeah, we're constrained to
full
well
power.
half power. After session 1, I adjusted to half power.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay. I'm not sure. What do you tell me?
Oh well, so after session 1, you're allowed to kind of move the points around, and after kind of seeing it in action, I shifted up the constraint to half power instead of full power.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha. So
because
you can
I
use.
was thinking the same thing. Like if I don't necessarily want to brain this little guy. So
Okay.
Lola's
Well,
piloting, and
he might be tougher than you think.
okay. Uh, is he a hazard? So is this hit
He's
is
a
going to
hazard.
take him out? Okay.
Well, he does have defense and body, so
Oh, okay.
make the roll. He's a little more than a regular hazard. I'm always doing these kind of like off the book things, but yeah, he's
Okay.
okay.
We're gonna
We're gonna
throw 3 strength at him.
Okay.
So 10 knockout, 3 body,
Just the
and
core, yeah.
uh, and 3 knockback right into the
Okay.
ground.
Okay, that's fine. He goes flying. He just
Okay.
had a little he just had a little extra you had to do to him.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you said just straight into the ground, so
Yeah.
like dent shaped like him in the
Exactly.
ground. Okay. All right. Well, that takes care of that then.
I like having
And
awareness.
yeah, it's super good.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that takes care of the. I guess I should make a decision about whether your guys or their guys are winning the hazard fight. Sometimes I just don't want to deal with this stuff. Um, I guess the proper way to do it is to say it's not going to go away until you do something about it. But For now, I guess you don't have to worry about it for now. What you have roll your unluck, Naga. For that.
Yeah, how much unluck do I have? Let's see.
Doing pretty good so far.
Unluck. Okay, I still have 2 dice of unluck. Okay, so I get 2.
Since you're kind of rolling. Okay. You get 2? Okay, Penner.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think like maybe on one side of the battle, like the pirates have sort of won and pushed away your maybe on this left side, like these pirates, like 3 pirates are like have defeated their opponents and are like sort of running towards, and I think this is the right phase for this is the phase for hazards, right? So I think there's sort of like running for the doors of the temples to go in there and see what they can steal.
Okay, these bastards.
And that's the end of 6. 7. Nothing except Birdman. Actually, I guess we can, since you still have your awareness up, you're sort of Lola's maybe has one mirror keeping an eye on the bird up on the top of the. He's still there. He's just watching. He's just watching what's happening. Optical research. And then on phase 8, Glauger goes and you both have attacks on this phase.
I think he should recover. I think that'd be a great idea.
Well, it's a good idea for him to recover, but I think on this, well, yeah, there's no real way for him to sneak that recovery in without having to eat a attack at once. But okay, yeah, okay, he'll do it. He's just gonna sit there and say, do your worth. I've shrugged off bigger hits than you can give me, so he is gonna recover.
Okay.
Up to you, Naga. You are we flying at this guy?
Yeah, oh man. I'm tempted to just go for another keep looking for my gear in this thing. Like I haven't
Well, you're never gonna get a better chance, or maybe, but
yeah, let's go for it. Yeah, let's go for it.
all right. So -2 offense and defense, but his defense drops to like,
6.
is it 6 or is it 6?
Yeah.
So, and you both have to hit, right?
No, we
Or
can hit. It's just if we both hit, we total them.
if you both hit, you total it. Right, yeah. So what attacks are you both doing? You're doing your Steve.
So
Oh, you've still got him. Oh wait, you still got him grab. No, wait, you did grab.
No, yeah.
Right.
I missed.
Yeah, you.
I guess I'm going for a martial punch.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
May.
And I'm putting in all my strength, of course.
Right. This may have been just a little too arrogant.
And Sam, Lola is like timing this with you, right? Because you're right in there tussling with him, right? So she's saying like, "All right, Naga, like give me a countdown." before she kicks on the thrusters.
Okay, yeah, this is cool. This is cool. Okay. All right, so I'll roll my dice. Okay, so I get an 8, so I think I actually hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so I'm putting all my strength in, so 5d6 and then 3d6 and then so 8, so it's 11 dice. Yeah.
Did you hit Ella?
Could you tell me how many hexes did I have to kind of like rocket jump to get to the troglodyte? So how many hexes away am I?
Oh, right. You're probably like 1, 2, 3, 4. You're not long. It's like maybe 4 hexes at most.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do the move through attack.
Okay.
So
And I can punch him into the ground because I'm bigger than him. I can like
Right,
smash
right.
him right into the ground. Yeah.
This
oh
I forgot you were gonna get. I forgot how many dice you were gonna get.
Yeah, I do have 11 to roll.
This is a
So I'm-
terrible. Yeah, should back off. But
Okay, I am gonna roll my 11, I guess, and then I'll just add them up just in case you hit.
I mean I just have to not roll an 18, which I don't. So
Okay. So, oh man. All right, how do I add? Okay. Let me just 10. Why can't I like can't add right now? It's crazy.
I rolled two
Okay.
ones, but I think we'll still have a pretty nice total.
Okay, so 42 knockout and 1, 2, 3,
22 knockout.
okay,
4.
all right. Well,
And I do
12
13 body.
this was
Uh,
this is possibly the dumbest decision I've ever made in the Game of Champions. Now,
eight
anyway,
eight eight body and 8 knockback. Oh, and Sam, do you want to roll a d6 and see if you do knockback?
Oh, yeah.
is the knockback additive?
Yeah,
It is.
knockbacks are added together.
Oh, what was the body for both of your attacks, by the way?
I did 13 body.
13
8.
body. You did 8. Okay. Yeah, you actually got into his body a little bit. Anyway, so yeah,
So
he's
I
just, I mean,
Oh,
he's
sorry,
just
go ahead.
sailing. Or were you trying to like direct him into the?
So
I was just hitting him straight into the ground.
I'm flying, so if you want to try to hit him in that direction, I mean we could
Okay,
knock him
yeah.
out of the temple, you know.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that.
So what did you roll on your d6?
Oh yeah. I got a 5.
Okay, okay, so 13 hexes of knockback.
Yeah, I mean, he sort of goes flying through. Like, I think he flies into the wall of the like I don't know tea shop next across the alley from the temple. Just demolishes the front window, several tables. Yeah, no, that's he's out.
Good.
You can't believe I did that.
You shouldn't have listened. I don't listen to me.
Well, I didn't do it because I listened to you. I did it
Yeah,
because I was like, he needed a recovery at some point,
right.
and his speed is 8. So I thought, like, when I made him, I thought, well, making him speed 8 might give him a way to sneak recoveries in,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
which I actually have done in Alan's game with speed 4 versus speed 3. But
Oh,
that's
nice.
also with like John's character being pretty good at like pulling people off me.
Right.
Like just like he has an entangle that can just stop someone in their tracks, and it's a real pain for enemies to deal with. And then like he kind of draws fire too, so it's like
Yeah.
if he had if he had more. I also make that decision about that, and it makes sense. You had just literally just paid for physical security, right? So it should be doing something with all these hazards running around. If you had to actually like deal with these hazards yourself, you would have a lot more cover. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Right. Well, I mean, okay, so
at any rate, once he goes flying, like the rest of the pirates are not gonna like have the nerve to like stick around
and
with him knocked out. So I think they're gonna scatter.
And the paladin is looking like totally furious, like that like round fat belly under the
Yeah,
belt line is like red hot right from the steam engines.
yeah.
And out of the helmet, Jumbo is saying like, uh, what is your command, Naga? Do we kill the desecrator?
Oh.
And that
Um.
fist is, you could just hear like, all that steam building up.
Yeah. Have you told me about the bird
Before you make
first?
that
Yes.
decision, I think Ababa will come running out of the tower towards you and yelling, "Where's Shala? I can't find my daughter."
Okay. Yeah.
So those two competing. Uh,
And I have told you about the bird, yeah.
Yeah. The Naga. Okay. The Naga has saved the temple in her mind, and now it's time to chase that fucking bird. So. So. Oh well. Okay. No, she doesn't. Okay, she doesn't care about Ababa or his relationship with Shala. Um, she says Lee, she says to the paladin like Lee, there's no reason to kill that thing. Um, let let's get the bird. Let's snatch that bird.
this is
That's what.
this is an interesting question. Okay, so that's happening on 8. Um,
Yeah.
you have a phase on 10. The bird has a phase on 9. As soon as you say that, it's just going to teleport out.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is actually interesting. Like, should we just kill this ogre? Like, it kind of is like maybe we should just kill the fucking ogre. I'm thinking like I said what not the Naga. I thought I said that, but now I'm like, why would the Naga give a shit about some ogre? Like it's coming and destroying everything. Yeah, I think if we can kill it, she would probably do that.
Go ahead and roll your. Well, I'm tempted to say roll on luck again. I think it's appropriate. Roll. Let's check that out of combat and luck. This is kind of a situational thing. But let's just. Oh, Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, unluck.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. I didn't know if you were.
Oh yeah.
Two.
Okay, so I think like while this fight has been going on, like some soldiers from the palace have been arriving, and so like once the time comes to sort of make a decision about the ogre, like they are on site, and I'm trying to think what what is the well, I don't know, just they're like they're there watching while you're having this conversation, I guess. And I sorry, I thought about something that I thought was important, but maybe this is not the way. But yeah, the soldiers from the palace are there, and they're sort of like kind of getting ready, like they have like I don't know ropes, and they're getting like ropes, and like they're kind of sort of getting ready to maybe tie up the ogre, but they don't look super stoked about it or wanting to like approach him. So like basically this is the situation. You can go ahead and do have the discussion, do what you're going to
Right.
do, but like that's a factor in the situation. I don't know if it's even really unlucky. I just needed some kind of
Yeah.
way to make a decision about that.
Yeah. Okay, so I think the Naga is slithering towards the ogre, and yeah, let's see. So he wants to, I'm just like, what does the Naga think about killing someone who wants some treasure? Um, obviously, she doesn't like the idea of this priestess hoarding money. Um, yeah, it's kind of like it's hard to imagine the Naga not just wanting this ogre to be dead, but he's also like knocked out, right? So
Uh,
it's kind of
yeah,
weird.
considering having him use his recovery, but I think he'll just put him down again if you do that. Well, huh.
Yeah, is he getting back up? Because that is a good question.
No, yeah, no, not at the moment. Um,
Yeah, I think she says to the goblins like the we've defended the temple. Um, we shouldn't kill him in cold blood. Like the three of you could have been running in here to steal stuff in a different life, a different life path.
Hmm.
And she's
Yeah.
saying to
Oof.
she says to the guards, the palace guards or whatever, like, um she's like, yeah, I think she just wants to go after the bird people. So I think she's yeah, I'm actually thinking I don't know like what she would say to these guards though. Like they're just gonna I think she's heading back into the temple to like assess the wreckage and stuff. And actually she probably wants to slip off to like become Shala again so that Ababa can find his daughter. Or wait, no, she doesn't care. Sorry, I'm just like really trying to figure out how to play this character right now.
yeah. Well, she
She
might not.
doesn't care.
As far as I know, like again, you're in charge of both Shala's ability. It's hard for the Naga
Yeah,
to turn into, or it's hard for Shala. You have to roll for Shala to turn into the Naga, but you can just decide if
yeah,
it turns back into Shala.
yeah. So I think the Naga does not care about whether or not Ababa finds Shala, and not in like a spiteful way, but just she has like other stuff to do. Um, and I think she wants to. Yeah, I don't know. I guess
Well,
she.
this is where I'm saying, like, on the character sheet is not directive about this situation, right? So you just have to make an authorial decision on whether you think it's
Right,
more interesting or appropriate or whatever basis you make the decision on for
right.
change or for her not to change, right? Like it's like
Yeah,
this is all you.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so I think it makes sense for Shala to fight her way back into control. So I almost want to make an ego roll to see if she can do that. I don't know. Like I feel like I need a little bit of input
Yeah,
from
that's fine if you want to.
yeah, just for this time because I think
We all
yeah,
know. Well, you can do it like that if you want, but that's
right,
in terms of the game. I don't have any power to make you make any ego roll because of how the
right.
character is made. That's your decision about how you make that decision, right?
Yeah. Okay. I like this time because Shala's like being like, let me out. I need to talk to my dad.
Yeah.
So okay, let's see. Okay, that's a success. So I guess then the Naga is like says something about entering an inner chamber or something and slithers back into the temple
Okay.
or something like that. And Shala is gonna run out few minutes later, I guess.
Okay.
And so just
Okay.
but while this, I mean, what the Naga said hit the Gabos pretty hard. So they the paladin like kneels down and grabs that chain and like yanks the anchor over, catches it. It's kind of like weighing it and like looking into it as though it's a mirror, even though, like we'd have that visual suggestion,
Right.
even though it's non-reflective. Uh, and then one of them or all of them, we don't know who from inside is saying, we don't pillage anymore. We protect our home, and they go over and they're gonna tie the anchor over the gate. Is like this is what happens to those who come
Okay.
for our
Nice.
home, and they
Yeah,
snap it
cool,
off,
cool.
and Lola's gonna go in and go into that crevice and dig out the package, and she's gonna give it back to Kahu because she doesn't want, I mean, she doesn't want more treasure in the walls.
Nice. Nice. Okay, I like that. Um. All right. Um. Cool. We can sort of wrap on that. Maybe think about the issues. By the way, that is a very heavy anchor, and the Junkyard Paladin, as written, isn't actually crazy strong.
Maybe we have to heat it then.
I think you have to heave
Okay.
it.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Cool. No worries.
but yeah. So anyway, so I think Ababa like embraces Shala and is like, I was worried, I was worried sick. I thought that guy is really bad news. Uh, he's pretty impressed. I think he's pretty impressed with the Naga, though. Uh, even though it's my fault that you were able to kill him. Uh, but he's sort of like, uh, I don't know. Maybe he won't say anything in particular, but I think he's just sort of like looking around at the scene, wonderingly, and maybe he's like turning a corner on the Naga. And could be.
Okay,
And
yeah. And Shala is complaining to him like while he's looking around at the wreckage, and Shala's saying like, I can't believe like another feast or another event ruined by that damned Naga.
yeah, and I think Yoshimati is like just trying to help direct people and helping to like clean up the scene, but I it happened so fast she didn't really have a lot of chance to do something. I was thinking she might be brave in this scenario, but turned out to not be necessary. So she's just sort of like directing people to clean up and trying to like reassure people and things like that. Maybe lead them in prayer or something like that. She's still kind of like acting as if the Naga is the actual Naga is just like, I don't know, she's just taking credit for like somehow saving the day. I don't know. She's like in some sort of weird denial space where like this all turned out. I don't know, having a real trouble getting into that character's head with all.
Well, when it's working against you, the devil wears the guise of an angel, and when it's working for you, the Lord can use even devils for his
Yes,
purposes. Like,
yes, yes.
That's right. There you go. Uh, and for now, I think that's all we have to. Oh well, like yeah, let's. So you give the package back to Kahu, right?
yeah. So
Lola
she'll
does, yeah.
she'll go she'll go to I assume the docks. She Lola knows her way around.
Well,
Or I guess I should ask, like, would she know where the where Baba's ship is docked?
yeah, it's on the docks, but they're not. He's not necessarily. You don't. I think you don't find Kahu on the ship or near the ship. I think he's at home in the rambles. And I think maybe, like his mom answers the door while he's like lying around on the couch or whatever. It's like
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Lola says,
it's about to say playing a video game, but no, too far. That's too much anachronism.
uh, Lola says like, can I talk to, can you tell Kahu that I'm here and I want to talk to him?
Okay, she's yeah, roll your unusual looks.
Yeah. They trigger.
Oh
Okay.
man.
Well, I think she'll let you. I think she says like, "Kahu, are you sure?" Like she's just like startled, but she'll let you in, and I think like Kahu is like on the couch, like playing like a crappy lute, like a little, like it's like a cigar box guitar type thing.
Okay. Uh,
Whatever they have, cigar. They could have cigar boxes here. That's in bounds.
uh,
And he just sort of like he's just learned surprised when he looks up and sees you.
so Lola says, Kahu, I, I'm just gonna say it, I like you. I think you're really cool, and I want to, I want to get dinner with you, but I'm not gonna hide your contraband in the temple. And she, holds it out and she says, so what do you say? Do you want to, uh, do you want to come over for chicken giblets tomorrow?
Um, looks again. One of these, just by sheer volume, maybe one
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
these.
there's
Well,
gotta
it,
eventually.
yeah, it's
Very difficult.
14 or minus, so that they trigger.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
All right, he just says like, "Nah," and goes back to playing, like just
Oh.
not even studiously ignoring you. Like
Yeah.
it's just like nothing's there to look at.
Yep.
Like,
Uh, the look on there's hurt on the face, but also uh but also Lola is feeling the empowerment that comes from cutting someone out of your life who
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
respecting you enough.
yeah.
So that's something that she uh yeah, she sets the package on the corner of the table and very politely and nicely says goodbye to Kahu's mom and takes off to go back to the temple.